Slopercise has been designed by Crystal Ski Holidays in association with David Lloyd clubs to ensure you can get more winter out of your holiday, maximising time spent on the slopes. Today we're going to take you through a 5-minute dynamic warm-up. This is just designed to prep you up, ready for the slopes, and hopefully make sure you stay injury-free through the exercise routine. Movement number 1 is super simple. We're just going to do a jog on the spot. So for this, we just want nice light feet, lovely tall spine, and we'll try not to forget to engage those abdominals. When you're ready to take things up a notch, we're going to get a little bit more dynamic with this. We're going to start turning that into a heel flick jog on the spot. Goal here is to try and keep these knees stacked right underneath the hips. We don't want to see knees out in front. We should be able to get a light stretch out of the front of those quads. Okay, for number 2, we're going to go into our cross-country ski swing. This is the first balance-orientated movement, and we're going for a very gentle leg swing to start with. Gradually, we can progress the height of this swing. We're looking to get a nice hamstring stretch, so back of the leg when we take the leg in front. And as that leg goes back, we should open up the front of that hip as well. Of course, we're then going to start going across the body. This opens up inside of the hip and the outside of the hip. Remember, you guys have got to do the other leg as well. Even yourself up. Number 3, we're going to go to our ski learner side step. So remember when we first started walking sideways in those skis, we're going to mirror that movement. We're going to give you 2 shuffles to the side. We're going to hit our squat. We're going to shuffle back to the side, hit our squat, and then we're going to start speeding that up. Again, on your squat position, head up, chest up, as we go. Perfect. Number 4, we're going to hit our ski lift squat. So when you're standing in that ski lift, waiting, this gives you something to do. We're going to open up the chest, hands behind the head, big squat, so deep as you can go with that back nice and tall, and then we come out of that quite dynamically, so really lifting those heels and getting a nice calf raise at the bottom of that movement. So this is lovely for really opening up ankle, knees and hips, and also that thoracic spine, that mid-upper back as well. Number 5, we go to ski boot lunges. Anyone's got those tight salopettes on, this will be quite a nice one to start opening up and getting those legs moving. When you're ready for the ski lunge to move up a notch, we can go for our overhead reach. This is again going to open up the front of the body and again get some nice movement through that mid-upper back as well. Okay, salopette stretch. So we're going to feel this one through the back of the body. For this movement, we're going to start reaching down towards the floor, trying not to bend those knees too much. When you get the hands to the floor, we're going to walk out, walk back in, stand up, repeat the movement. Every time you go into this, if you can, see if you can keep those legs a little bit straighter and we can open up the hamstrings a little bit more. Here we go for number 7. This is the final one on your warm-up drill. We're going to go into our aero tuck position. So think aerodynamic, get your ski poles tucked in, and then all we're going to do is squat our way out of this warm-up. Remember on this drill, we really want to try and fire up those glutes. So you've got 2 options, remember, with the backside. You can have relaxed, mushy apple sauce, or we can have big, fired up, rosy apples. That is the goal for you guys on this last drill on that warm-up. We can take the pace up a little bit, and then that is your warm-up done. Okay guys, so welcome to Slopercise step 3. This hopefully means that you've worked your way through step 1 and step 2. Remember, as soon as they start to become less challenging, this is probably the right time to give workout 3 a go. So let's get this started. Today you're going to be working for a bigger volume. So we've got a whole minute of exercise for you. You've only got 15 seconds recovery. So this should definitely find a much more challenging workout for you. Number 1 we've got is for lower body. This is your Slopercise mogul ski hop. So think moguls, get your ski poles ready. All we're going to do is take that jump to the side and down. So on this one, you don't have to worry too much about the height. But again, we're really focusing on that landing technique. If we want to make this more challenging, both feet land together, side to side. If we want to make it tougher still, feet can be narrower. So we reduce that base of support. Just make sure all the way through this that we're staying nice and tall on that squat. So not forward bending too much. How are you guys getting on? Good. Legs waking up? Oh yeah. Perfect. Let's keep it moving. So by the end of this 1-minute block, what we're hoping to do is really spike the heart rate, work on your endurance. By the end of it, we should be slightly breathless. Difficult to have that conversation. Definitely feeling uncomfortable. Last few seconds, team. Keep it going. You got this. 3, 2, 1. Wowzers. Rest. Okay, very short recovery. You've got 15 seconds. So for this one, shake those legs loose. Concentrate on getting your breath back, getting your heart rate down. Make sure you've got some water close by if you need it. Okay, ready for action. Number 2 is our Slopercise sledge pull. This is focusing on upper body. Guys, we're back on the bands. Get ready. Perfect. So this time, remember, it's single arm option. You grab the one underneath. And this time we're going to add a much bigger challenge on the lower body as well. So off we go on that row. So if you're doing this at home, remember, if we want the more challenging option, we go deeper into that lunge and we come out into that upright position. So Slopercise team, if you want to ramp this up a little bit, let's see that leg straighten on the way up and we'll go deep into the lunge on the way down. Remember the fundamentals of this move. We're challenging the back of the body. We want to see that shoulder blade squeeze. The single arm option really becomes more total body. We get to involve the abdominals and the back and the glutes all at the same time. Time on the clock, you guys keep going. Last 10 seconds. If 1 minute on one side is too much for you, by all means, 30 seconds on one arm, 30 seconds the other. Make sure hand to opposite leg. Great stuff, guys, rest. Woo! Make the most of your 15 seconds. Okay, again, use this time wisely. Breath back, heart rate down, drink if you need, shake those legs loose. We go to lower body. This time your APRES STEIN squat. Team, grab your goblets, get those kettlebells ready. This time, as well as priming those legs, we're going into the upper body element. So remember, elbows pinned, deep squat. Bottom of this movement now, we're priming those beer arms, get that curl ready. Back up to the chin. Remember that back stays nice and upright. Main focus again at the bottom of that squat. Can we keep that back nice and tall? We don't want to see any of this business. Head up, chest up. Keep going, team. Now your options at home, you don't have a kettlebell. And if you don't have a stein full of beer, you can just go for the baked bean tin. Anything that feels challenging for the resistance. Last few seconds. Even if you're doing this movement without the kettlebell, it's still going to give you a little bit of upper and lower body work. Good. Glutes fired up at the top. Make sure those knees are nice and wide at the bottom. And we've got heels staying in contact with that floor as well. 3, 2, 1, rest. Guys, great stuff. Kettlebells back. Great stuff. Make the most of your recovery. Breath back, heart rate down, compose yourselves. So we go back to upper body. This is your powder snow pole pull. So if we're face down in the snow, in that powder, we've got to recover that pole. We've got that pulling action. Guys, let's get the dumbbells. Let's get down on the floors. This is your step 3 option. This is where we really crank things up a notch. The intensity is definitely total body, very, very core orientated as well. So we're going to be down on the floor, plank position. Step 1, we went from knees. Step 2, full plank. This time we're adding the push up to our movement and that single arm row. 1 push, 1 pull. Goal on here, we don't want to see hips piking up. We don't want to see hips rolling. If you know this is you and this becomes more challenging, just take the regression option. Knees down, we can still add the push up. We can still execute a good row. Key consideration again for posture, just make sure that lower back is controlled. We don't want to see any hyperextension or sagging through that lower back. You can see these guys are doing the business. Good, remember you're bracing for those plank positions as well. Really good squeeze through glutes. Guys, you can rest. Abs should be braced, and we should try and remember to do all of that at the same time. Let's put those dumbbells back. Top job. Good, good, good. Okay. So number 5, again, lower body. We are ski lift, sideways shuffle. For this, we need our bands. Quickly, guys, let's get those resistant bands. Brilliant. And just when you thought this exercise could not get any more challenging, this time we want you guys holding that deep squat position. And off we go. Let's take it to 3 steps on either side. Make sure those feet do not turn out as you step. Now look, if anyone doesn't have a resistant band, you can still effectively target the outside of the hip and these glutes. This exercise I'm going to show you now, we take it down to the ground for a side plank. This becomes a much more core orientated drill. We're working the obliques, the side of these glutes as well on the hip. This one is really challenging. We go for this straight leg raise. Okay, so we're looking for, in a 1 minute exercise, 30 seconds on that right leg, and then we'll swap sides and obviously 30 seconds on the other leg. Goal is full range, and we want that knee staying nice and straight as well. Make sure gravity doesn't start pushing that hip down towards the ground, so stay strong. Again, if you need a slight option, we can chop the bottom leg in half and go through the same range. Last couple of seconds, guys, and rest. Perfect. Let's put those hands away. Okay, so this is move number 6. We go back to balance. This is your ski lift Q, broad and buster. So remember the single leg balance drill we did? Off we go, guys, choose a leg. This time, not only are we reaching as far out as we can, think about having that marble underneath your shoe. You're rolling it out, you're rolling it back, we're taking it out to the side, back in, and we're rotating and reaching. We're trying not to lose balance. Step 3, we're closing eyes. So can we do that with those eyes closed? Out, wide, back in, rotate, reach, and so on. Once you've got halfway through your time, change legs, repeat. Roll that marble, out wide. You'll probably find one leg you're really good on, and one leg is not so good. How are you guys doing? So you're getting to talk as well as closing those eyes as they do it. So final few seconds. If you find this super easy, challenge yourself on the range. How far can you go? That might mean you've got to sit down a little bit lower, or reach out a little bit wider on that movement. Remember, we can also go behind. Rotation as well is usually the most challenging one. Fantastic, guys, rest. Okay, here we go. This is the biggie. So number 7, this is our lower body, a high intensity finisher. So if you don't feel challenged already for these 1 minute workouts, this one's definitely gonna do this for you. So speed skater. Get your skates on, guys, here we go. This is a single leg hop from side to side. Make sure whichever flooring you're using for this, you've got good grip. We're looking for a nice soft landing. Once you've got that movement down, you guys are going to add some speed. You ready? And go for it, fast as you can. So we explode from side to side. If we get this sideways movement really working well for us, again, we start feeling that tension build on the outside of those glutes and those hips. Heart rate should be spiking. If we've got a good rhythm going, can we nail that for the last 25 seconds? And you've got to smile. Keep going. It's not going to get any tougher than this. Final 15 seconds. This is when you've got to ask yourself, whatever you've got left in the tank, this is the time to give it. Let's go, team. Top speed. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest up. Top job. Guys, that is your workout complete. Now we're going to take you into a nice relaxing mobility cool down. Hi guys, welcome finally to the Slopercise cool down. So we're going to take you guys through some relaxing and some mobility orientated stretches to help you recover and to help you stay injury free on the slopes. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take this down to the ground for a back stretch. This is really nice for the lats. So guys, we're going to get on all fours. So we just take those wrists under the shoulders, the knees directly under the hips. We try and keep the back nice and flat. All we're going to do with this is take one hand, we're going to karate chop the floor out in front. We make sure we keep that arm locked out straight so there's no elbow bend. If you want to, you can additionally take the other hand as well and do both sides at the same time. We're going to gently just lower down, taking that forehead almost to the floor. So the goal here is to get a good stretch through the back and through the shoulders. Additionally, we can move to the right, a little sweep to the right and a little sweep to the left, just to feel that stretch increase on the right and on the left-hand side. So we'd like to be breathing, of course, all the way through this. So we look for 4 or 5 deep breath cycles in through nose and out through the mouth. Great stuff. Fantastic. Okay, back up we go. Number 2, we're going to go into quads. Again, these bad boys are working super hard for you throughout the workout and on the slope. So we've got 3 options here for you. Kirsty's going to demonstrate the lying quad stretch. Neil, we're going to get down and we're going to do our single leg balance quad stretch. And if any of those are still not quite as intense enough for you, we've got a kneeling option as well. So with this one, all we're doing is reaching behind for the foot. The goal here is to drop the hip down and then gently we take that heel back towards the bottom. We should feel a really good stretch, hopefully on all of these, whichever your option is, right on the front of that thigh. Again, 4 to 5 nice deep breath cycles, breathe, relax, and recover. And of course, make sure you do both sides. Great stuff, team. Okay, thoracic spine. So this mid-upper back, this is an area we should have lots of lovely movement in, we should. For this one, again, we're going to get down on the ground. So an on all fours position. Very simply, we're going to take the right hand, we're going to reach that arm underneath and scrape it along the floor almost as far as we can go. We should feel a nice stretch, a nice rotation through that upper back. We're going to come out and follow that hand right the way up towards the ceiling. Your eyes are following your fingertips, and then we repeat. So a nice sweep and controlled flow from start to finish. Hopefully on this, we keep the lower back nice and still. Most of the movement should be from the upper back. If we would like a slightly more intense version, the foot in front, that's going to give us a slightly deeper stretch through the hip as well as the thoracic spine. Fantastic, okay, up we go. Hip flexors. So right on the top of the thighs, these hip flexors are going to get a really good stretch now. So very simply, we're going to get into a kneeling position. Hopefully you've got some nice comfortable carpet to do this on at home. Step number 1, we want to try and tilt this pelvis back. If we got this pelvis tilted forward, we're not going to feel this stretch. So think about tucking the bum under, opening up the front of that hip. Second move, if you can, see if you can squeeze that butt cheek, fire it up. We're going to let the hip drive forwards just until we feel that good stretch right on the front of the hip. If we need more on this stretch, that left arm or the same arm on the same side of the knee that's on the floor is going to reach tall as you can get it. Try and touch the roof. A little side bend at the top will open up the side of that hip as well. Again, keep that breathing going, and then of course remember to do the other side as well. Okay, adductors are the inside of these hips. So really simply, you guys get to chill out and sit on the floor for this. We're going to go down into a butterfly stretch. So for this, we've got the soles of the shoe together. The main goal for this is to try and keep the back completely upright. So we don't want to see any hunching or flexing forward on the back. We'll try and drop these knees as low as possible so the hips are open, and very gently with that straight back, we're going to try and tip forwards just until we feel a good stretch through the groin and then the inside of those hips. If we want to add a little bit more, those elbows can gently press down on the inside of the knees. And if we want to bring the back into the stretch, guess what? We can drop the head, try and pull those elbows down to the floor, and the last few seconds, crawl those hands out in front. So final position, every time you breathe out, remember, that's your opportunity to just travel a little bit further on each breath. Wonderful stuff. Okay, guys, back on your feet. So that brings you finally to the end of the Slopercise workout. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I hope that you found some really good progression from step 1, 2, and to step 3. And the hope is this has got you fit for the slope, and it's going to help you get more winter.